Hi, I'm Hayley from Craft Yourself Silly, and I'm going to take you through a couple of different stitches that you can use on the loom. So the one I've got here creates a herringbone effect, and you're weaving two pieces at the same time. So the best way to start this is to join the two pieces the way we've showed you in your previous video, where you put old through the new and new through the old, so you've got two different colours put together. You don't have to use different colours, obviously we're just doing this so you can see the effect that you're going to get. And what you need to do is push it underneath with one colour, and then once it's gone underneath, bring it back towards you to create the next one, and then the next one goes underneath, and once it's been underneath, take that one back, take the next one forward, underneath, bring that back, take the next one forward, and you repeat that all the way along. And what that will do is that will give you a herringbone effect, so like little arrows going back and forth. And that's a nice one to do if you're just looking for a complete coverage where you won't see any of the warp strings. Now, we've got other things that you can do to add and embellish your work. So if I turn it around to this side, we've got, we supply these, they're called tie-its, but you can cut things out of felt. Anything that won't fray will work really well for this. So I've just got a little flower there. We have got smaller ones as well, so you could layer them up if you wanted to. And the way these work is they've got two little slits cut in them. So all I'm going to do is, what you need to do is when you put these in, you need to work them when you're going over the top of a string rather than underneath. So I'm just going to push that through to the front of there. And then we're going to go back through the other way and just continue weaving as normal. The next technique I'm going to show you is something called souvlak. This is a wrapping technique. It just adds another dimension to your work. So I'm going to come under one there and take it right the way along. I'm going to come back underneath that one and then take up the next two strands of the weft and continue doing that. So back down the one that I've just covered and then under the next two, and you continue that all the way along. It's a nice stitch to use if you're looking for full coverage so you can't see any of your warp strands, and it just adds a little bit more texture to your work. Now I'm going to show you one last technique, and this is something we've used in quite a few of the pieces behind me, which is where we add the felting fibre. Felting fibre is just wool that hasn't been spun. It's usually been dyed but not spun. And to add this, you would come through one strand, and you want to kind of work like we did with the herringbone with this, really, because the more you can knot it into each other, the more stable it becomes in your work. So under one, cross it over, under the next, cross it over, under the next, and that will, again, it will give you full coverage, and it will make it a lot more sturdy and a lot less likely to pull out, because it's difficult with a fibrous fabric. So I hope you've enjoyed these techniques, and I hope you put them into your work.